bleep it.
Which we just play it in reverse.
Play it in reverse, yes.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
this is our attempt at a podcast. We don't know how well this is going to go.
Definitely an attempt, to say the least.
If you're not listening to this, this is an unbroadcastable pilot for obvious reasons, because Matt's probably been arrested.
But hey, welcome to our podcast. Hey.
But with him, he's Matt.
I'm Matt, and the other person's George.
Yeah, that's me. That's my name.
Welcome.
But we're just gonna talk about pointless shit.
We're
gonna try.
Well, we've got stuff to talk about, but I think
all pop culture based. I mean, we'll obviously, the elephant in the room is the whole England result and various stuff that we're gonna try not to talk about all the time. But
so for a matter of fact, let's clear over everything that's been going on. England lost, because of course they did. I mean,
nothing to be sad about. It was
did better than anybody expected them.
It's not coming home.
2022. It's coming on.
I mean, no, but it come home because plus it's over Christmas, so never know.
Yeah, over Christmas.
The
Great idea.
Christmas miracle. Southgate will be dressed up as Santa, and Harry Kane will deliver lots of goals to all the lovely girls and boys.
That kind of sounds like
that does sound very.
That kind of sounds.
He will go to prison for that.
He's going to deliver his golden balls.
Well, that's David Beckham. That's the way he voice. Yeah.
Hey, look, David Beckham could deliver his golden balls anywhere.
Look.
Have you seen him?
But neither David Beckham nor Harry Kane would survive in a prison.
No, I think Harry Kane could.
No, you can't take him seriously with that voice. He's a great player, and I hate saying that.
Yeah.
We're going to try not to talk about football too much.
Arsenal boy.
We're going to try not to talk about football too much, because, that's just how fights start. Bastards.
Just because we're currently better. You've been better for 20 years, but we're currently better at the moment.
We're going to end this football chat with how many trophies have you won in the last 10 years?
No, we're going to end this football chat with Croatia a day. We're going to end this by ending Croatia.
We're declaring war.
I declare war on you, Croatia. I want to read it.
Okay, so we're going to have to edit that out as well.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm not going to start a war with Croatia. There's two of us. And I'm not helping.
Two of us against a whole country. Yeah.
Of at least tens of people.
All right. So we're gloss over
that.
The
England thing done?
Move on? That's the football chat. What else has been going on? Trump.
Yeah, Trump's here. That's it's been a hell of a week for the UK, really, isn't it?
Americans, let us know. Do you like Trump? Yes or no?
The sun went in for a bit. I mean, it's back out now because it's fucking boiling. But then he came. We're out of the World Cup.
It was going well.
It's been a hell of a couple of days. Yeah.
But,
proud of the English. Hopefully tomorrow we can beat Belgium, and that's the last I'm going to say about football.
Stop bringing it up. We moved on.
I was trying to make it relatable and make it flow. Like, this is all seamless.
Nah, nothing's seamless that we do. But Trump's here. He doesn't agree with Brexit. Do you agree with Brexit?
I don't think he knows what Brexit is. I don't think he can even say it.
I mean, it's a breakfast.
Brexit means Brexit.
I mean, it's a breakfast, right? Like Shreddies.
That's probably what he thinks.
Like
he's probably come over thinking, I'm gonna have a nice big bowl of Brexit. Maybe that's what they're going to serve him in his hotel. It's just the papers from Brexit.
Yeah, just Brexit means Brexit.
Just in a bowl with loads of milk, and he's just going to. That's so good. That's so good. They should have this in China. I really didn't want to get into the Trump impression in episode 1. I really didn't. But there we are.
But you brought it there anyway.
Yeah, plugging myself. What can I say?
Yeah, you brought it there anyway.
Did you see his what he said to the Sun in the Sun interview in Brussels?
No.
About the trade deal with the UK. Yeah, well, basically said that would any Brexit deal would kill all hope of that. So he's basically saying a big fuck you, and now he's in our country, staying as a guest. So I hope someone does the right thing and just shoots him in the face. I reckon this is what you wanted, but then we wanted Brexit, so we're just as bad as each other. Really. So.
I think every country's just as bad as each other, just for different reasons.
I think the world's just going to shit, so that's why we're talking about shit that we like.
Except from Italy.
We're all going to die one day.
Italy's really nice. Great.
Has it done anything in particular in the news, or you just want to go there?
I just love Italy. Like, it's where one of my favorite game franchises is from.
Mm-hmm.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, good.
Big up,
well
Assassin's Creed.
Describing that to the audience.
Yeah,
our one listener who is, obviously not a Trump supporter.
Unless he is, in which case
you don't know.
Hello.
At this point, do you know?
Let us know.
Howdy.
Pro Trump or anti Trump? Let us know.
Please don't start that debate. We don't need that.
We always need it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious.
Mm-hmm. But then the same with Theresa May. Did you see the pictures of them like having their meal thing? I mean, that must have been a fun night. Just Melina's not allowed to talk. Trump's constantly waving his hands. She's running through a field of wheat, and her husband's putting out the bins. So
grab her by the pussy.
That's all that page is gonna say.
Just timestamp. Fix it.
Fix it all. I don't know why I went into it. Fix it. Fix it now.
Alright, Schwarzenegger, calm down.
Special guest Arnie's joined us, flown in. He actually lives
down the street from me.
Yeah, he actually does. He's actually your next door neighbour.
He is. He's my next door
Matthew,
neighbour.
have you got any sugar?
No, I don't.
Why not? My coffee. It's not sweet enough.
Sorry, mate. Just go around the corner.
Go to the shops. No.
And he leaves every time, just saying, "I'll be back."
Hey,
hey. I think that took 8 minutes to get to the first actual joke.
Yeah. This is gonna go well. Like when we get inevitably cancelled and then picked up by Netflix, let us know why you stuck around. Our one listener, whose name's probably Brian,
or John, or Connor,
or Jeff. No, not Connor.
Nah, Connor hates us.
Which one? We have many Connors that we know. Are they mine?
Yeah, they're yours.
I just stepped on my sunglasses.
Well, that's not a good thing, is it?
I didn't even know I had them on there.
Yeah.
They were literally on the floor.
Next to my shoes.
Yeah. I mean, there is, like, if we're going to talk about the room, ladies and gentlemen,
I mean,
it's probably Guantanamo Bay is probably cleaner than this.
And I'm gonna cancel this.
But to be fair, you've had a lot of stuff, so I just know that I'm literally gonna have to buy you so much shit for your birthday just to clean this up.
Alright, thanks, man.
So I'm just gonna go on Google.
Thanks, man. Much appreciated.
It's alright. I've got to fund you somehow.
Much appreciated for talking about the state of my room.
It's not that bad. It is. It's fucking bad.
It's not. Don't listen to him.
What are you whispering in their ears?
ASMR.
It's gonna be really tick off the ASMR bit.
That portion's done.
So we've done Arnie impressions, a bit of ASMR. That's it. That's thanks for
That's the podcast done.
8 minutes.
That's the podcast done. 9 minutes actually.
What do you think? It's normally like hour and a half. That's probably. If I'm gonna listen to people talk, I want them to go for it, because I hate the ones that when they're like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like you can barely get anything in.
I mean, yeah. So right. So the big thing, right? The big thing that we're both going to that's coming up recently, is RTX.
That was the worst segue. I literally thought you were going to talk about podcasts, and you just went into.
I mean,
is that you linking that into what I think you're going to link it into?
If what you're thinking of is what I'm thinking of, then yes.
Should we stop playing the pronoun game and just?
Yeah, if you want to stop acting like a movie and actually just say what you're thinking.
What? No.
No, I did not hear that.
I did not. Why do you have to bring up Tommy Wiseau?
Because
it took 10 minutes for Tommy to show up, and now I'm gonna milk it because I know you hate it. I know you hate the impression of Tommy. Because Maddie, you gotta,
I don't hate
yourself.
the impression.
You just can't hate yourself. You gotta be careful. You gotta live your life. You do what you want.
I don't hate the impression. I think
it just breaks you emotionally.
It's just too good. It's just too good. But I was gonna talk about RTX because obviously the podcast and everything that will be filmed over there.
Yeah.
And it's a big event.
Oh, nice. That was a ham-fisted segue. You punched it back in.
See, you interrupted my segue before my segue was actually finished.
There's so many
and turn it into Tommy Wiseau.
That's like 16 segues.
I'm gonna segue into the segue that goes into the segue.
Right, can we stop saying segue and just say what you want to say? Because everyone's turned off now and they don't like us anymore.
No, I don't think they liked us from the moment we began and started editing stuff out.
Yeah,
but
it's just gonna be like about 3 minutes at the beginning just bleeps. Anyway, RTX.
But yes, so that's coming up middle of September, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be the second RTX to appear in London. And for those of you who don't know, it's a convention hosted by Rooster Teeth. And yes, me and George are going to be there. We went to the opening one last year, and
it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
2 days, wasn't it?
2 days, yeah, and it'll be 2 days again. I think they could do a little bit better this time, and more organising and stuff like that.
I think, and you said it particularly last year, like the whole thing, because it being the first one, you can't really sort of go for everything like first, because you don't like. They obviously didn't know how many were going to show up, like what they were going to do, what the like type was. So they obviously that's why they didn't bring as many people and do as much. But what they did do, they had a lot of, and it was I enjoyed it. It was a great time. Like they had the whole Nintendo Switch, booth where you could just try that out and play that.
Big up the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, this episode not sponsored by Nintendo Switch, but if they want to, then send us free Switches. Then
if they want to send me free games, that'd be really nice. What's my computer doing? It's having a mental breakdown.
Nah, it's fine.
Oh no, it's good.
Back. It's just good. Trying to keep up with your velvety tones.
Ooh, velvety. But like
velvet. Sorry, I just wanted to see what that sounded like.
But like obviously our Rooster Teeth, they've held conventions in Austin and in Sydney before, so they at least knew what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one coming up.
Who would you like them to bring that they didn't have last year?
Who they
brought sort of they brought the main sort of people that they knew would attract the most people.
Who they didn't bring last year? I'm trying to think, right? So obviously, like Jeff didn't go last year, did he?
I think Jeff was there.
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty.
Ryan.
Ryan wasn't there.
I'm thinking of
Jeremy
Ryan.
was there, but he was on holiday, and then they bullied him into getting on stage with James Buckley, who was there. That was a nice surprise.
That was interesting. I would like to see Ryan there.
Reference for everyone keeping count at home.
I generally would like to see Ryan there.
I would like to see Ryan. That was one of the main things I said. I would like to see Ryan because I think, he's a big name. Was Jack there? I don't think Jack was there.
No, Jack wasn't there. Jack was in holiday.
Jeff was definitely there. I remember because we went to the Achievement Hunter panel.
And yeah. Michael, Lindsay.
Gavin, Lindsay.
Yeah.
Was Jeremy there as well? And they bullied him.
Yeah, they bullied him.
Did they just bully him into everything?
They did just bully him into everything.
I remember we watched Off Topic and I feel like he got up.
Yeah, he did get up. Ryan's the biggest shout for me.
Yeah, so we just want Ryan. We want Ryan Con. We want RT Ryan.
I would also
just
like
2 days of Ryan dressing up as different people and having conversations with himself.
Exactly, that would be
like a madman who's been released from a mental hospital and let off his meds. That's what we want.
So basically, a British person is what we're saying.
Well, no, Gavin's going to be there, obviously. Yeah. That was the main thing as well, because like I know we sort of had. There was like with the whole getting your autograph thing and that was like there was a bit. The system on that wasn't really sort of perfected, but I feel like that's been done better this time because you said with getting tickets and that's been a lot easier than last time where it was doing that and then applying for thingy and then printing. And
I think they're also gonna like send out a lot more autograph codes as well, so you're guaranteed one.
That's the thing. Well, like you said, testing the waters of the first one. They're gonna hone in on what they did right, which was a lot of things.
They did do a lot right, and I feel like now they know they would have the people there to make it bigger. They can bring more people, allow more times for more autographs and stuff like that.
There was so many people. It was.
I would love to actually meet Bernie this time.
Oh yeah, instead of waving at him from a distance.
Instead of just waving at him from a distance, I would actually love to meet Bernie this time.
Yeah, we'll definitely go for Bernie. I want to meet Bernie and get him to if you're listening to this, Bernie, in the future because we met you at RTX, welcome. If not, then Matt's depressed and drinking right now. So
I'm always depressed and drinking. There's a difference.
Yeah. Sometimes he's drinking depressed. Sometimes he's depressed and drinking.
Isn't that kind of just the same thing?
Right.
I do not condone drinking.
We've done the alcohol section.
I do not condone drinking to anybody under the age of 18.
Just covering, just in case there are underage people listening that are thinking about becoming alcoholics. Don't. It's expensive.
If you're over 18, hook me up. I've got a good selection of whiskey. Always waiting for people. So, like, if anybody wants a hook up for that, I can recommend. This is just because I work with liquor. Okay, nothing else. I am not an alcoholic.
When he says works, he literally just like walks up and down the aisles at Asda and just like sort of tells people to buy this and buy that, and they tend to get out constantly, but
yeah,
still doesn't listen.
Yes, I work for Asda. That's not Asda. Okay.
You don't work there. I'm saying like you just like go in there and then just force alcohol upon people that you meet.
It's like, buy this, it's good.
Buy it now.
Buy it.
Oh damn it! He was back. He ran in and out.
I mean, it's not the first time I've been told off in a store as well.
Well, have you got a funny anecdote?
Yes.
Pray tell.
So the other day, I was at work for where I actually work.
And we're not going to name. We're just going to say it is retail based.
It is retail based, yes.
And I think as both people that both have retail based jobs, people can be dickheads.
They really can. And what I find even more funny, right? The story that I'm going to say is retail workers can be real dicks to other retail workers. So like
bit of juicy work gossip.
So we all know customers are rude to retail workers, regardless. We've seen videos all over the place.
Yeah,
but
we live it every day of our lives.
We live it every single
day of our sad, pathetic lives. So we just try and earn money before we eventually end up in the grave.
Exactly. But so we ran out of milk, right? When we worked, so we needed to get a lot more in.
Oh yeah, I love this story.
Because we needed, right? So where I work, it's a coffee selling based retail environment. I'm not gonna.
That really does. I'm being funny. That really narrows it down.
I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say which one it is. I'm not gonna say the company because I like the company. But we had just run out of milk. We needed about 200 liters of milk to finish the day off because our store is 24/7.
It's 24/7.
It is 24/7. Yeah.
Mad.
Yeah.
Who wants coffee at like 1 in the morning? Well,
a lot of people. Especially you got to consider where it is that I work as well.
Yeah.
Right.
In the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere.
He actually works in the ocean. People have to swim up. It's a
glub. But so me and someone that I work with, one of my team leaders, we went to the nearest Tesco's.
Well, yeah, we can say that one.
I can say that one. I have no affiliation to them. So
did Every Little Help? Is that one?
No, that's Asda.
Is it?
Every Little Helps is Asda.
I thought that's Asda price.
I don't know.
You know, remember the old adverts like years ago? Like they used to slap their like arse pocket and like. Used to make the clanging of change noise.
Nah, you actually could be right there.
I don't know why I had to slap my ass while recreating that advert, but there we go.
I don't know, but so I went into this Tesco's with a trolley, and I think I put about 30 bottles of the big like 6-pint milks, like the 3.5 liter bottles. I put about 30 of those in my trolley, and I was like, "Oh, it's only about like just slightly over 100 liters." But we had cleared out this entire crate, so we turned around to the manager and was like, you got any more milk heading out back?" And she goes, "Why? Why do you need this much milk?" And my manager was sort of just like, "Why does it matter to you?" type of thing.
Fuck off.
Like, we're buying this
milk. Get your own milk, bitch.
We were buying this milk because we needed to buy this milk. And so she comes out, and then like she's sort of like watching us stack up the rest of what we needed, which was another 28 bottles of it. In the end, we had 58 bottles. And so she's watching us, and then we're like taking it over to the counter, and she just turns around and goes, so this is just a one-off type of thing, right? Why? What does it matter? Because this is my biggest profit loss margin. And I was just thinking to myself, why do I care? You know? I've got literally 58, I've near enough got 200 litres of milk I needed to take back to my store. Why do I care if it's your biggest profit loss margin? You should have thought about that before somebody comes in to buy it. There's no limit on what you can buy. And at the end of the day, the store's still getting money. And she was being right proper angry with my team leader, though.
Yeah.
Like, they were almost in an argument. She was trying to stop us almost from buying milk, which I thought was incredibly funny. While I'm just sitting there scanning through all these bottles of milk.
They're really going to stop you from buying milk.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like it was going to be.
I remember my password from us anyway. Sorry, carry on.
Professional. But she was like trying to stop us from buying milk, and I thought it was one of the most like jarring experiences I've had, like going into a store to buy something. And yeah, we ended up taking all this milk back to our store, and we used it for like the next 3 days in the end.
That's pretty cool.
And I was just like, I hate every single person for like not ordering a delivery of milk. Like, how could you forget
so
that?
So is it because someone forgot to order it?
Yeah, so I don't think it was someone forgot to order it. More they just
thought this would be a fun idea.
They just forgot
Let's
to
scan through 60 odd bottles of milk.
They just forgot to deliver the milk on the milk delivery.
When you're a milk delivery man and that's your one job, how can you forget that? They
brought everything else to us, just not the milk.
They bought the cow and the pumps, and they're like, "You want to do it yourself."
they just forgot.
I don't milk it. I'm just a milk delivery man. I bought the container in which the milk is made and housed.
Yeah,
there's milk in it. You just have to get it out.
I feel like this has gone way too far off track.
We talked a lot about milk.
A lot about milk, but all I'm trying to say is Tesco's. Please don't stop me from buying 58 bottles of milk.
Is that what the point of that was?
Yes, if I want to buy 58 bottles of milk, I feel more than entitled to buy 58 bottles of milk.
Yeah, but you've got to understand, like, when there's someone in everyday life who, you know what, I want to declare war on the lactose intolerant, so I'm going to buy 58 bottles of milk.
No, we actually had people taking pictures of our trolley, just like, oh, this is an odd experience. Famous. I was just like, I'm buying milk at the end.
Media, I'm just checking, there is a lot of seats left, so yeah, cool.
That's fine.
Just for anyone wondering, we're going to see Incredibles literally as soon as this finishes.
Yes. So
that'll come into play later. That was like a future segue. That will make sense in the future. And cut now.
But basically, all I'm trying to say is, if I want to buy milk,
let them have milk.
Let me have my milk. Okay.
Milk.
Let me have it. Okay. Don't know how that ended up going from an RT convention to milk. I honestly don't know.
I really don't either. But, did we finish talking about it? Yeah, let's just assume RTX. When September. We're debating whether to try and do, if this carries on and we don't like hate ourselves or get hate mail, to do one there.
Yeah.
And try and get some stuff done there, like either content wise or this, which would be nice. It depends on what, if people hate us or not.
I mean, I feel like people are going to hate us regardless.
Oh yeah, obviously.
At the end of the day.
The internet hates everyone.
Yeah.
Look at the fans of the Last Jedi. That's what you wanted to talk about.
Yes,
you wanted to talk about that.
Last Jedi, right? Or just the new Star Wars films in general, right? Thank you, because that's what I was trying to think of.
We're not. This isn't a problem with the Star Wars films themselves. It is the problem with
the fans.
Not all fans.
Not all the fans, but like
a very loud group. Wouldn't say the majority. I'd say
it's more like the vocal minority in a way. But then, is it really the minority?
I don't know.
I mean, you got to look at Han Solo. I mean, enough people boycotted that film to the point where it still made money.
Just not as much as they were. I like Solo.
I like Solo. Solo was a good film. It's
very good.
Like, don't get me wrong, it's not the best film in the world.
It's nowhere near sort of like the best film that Star Wars has done, which, you know, many people probably Empire.
Yeah, probably Empire.
I do really like Last Jedi though.
I like Last Jedi as well.
People are gonna hate me, probably. But...
I mean, this is where the death throats start coming now.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, no, shut your mouth. It's a good film.
But I enjoyed as much as like there were points where I was laughing that it was a bit ridiculous.
Like the whole,
it was quite over the top and campy. But then I thought, then that's
always been Star Wars.
And that was all. It was just sort of aiming for a fun time because it was like, yeah, it's a heist western thing, but it was good. I think Alden Ehrenreich did really well as Han Solo.
Yeah,
he surprised me because obviously, you know, they had all that stuff coming out, whether it's problems with him acting or like the directors changing, and it was good.
It ended up a very enjoyable film, and I think that's at the end of the day, I think the Star Wars films have always been not exactly necessarily the technically, or like they have not ever been technically the best films ever made, or they've not been the best written or the best anything, but they've been
prequels.
Okay, we don't talk about the prequels, like but then like,
of course, it's true. It gets everywhere.
But like the Star Wars films have always been enjoyable films. At the end of the day,
you always have fun in the Star Wars film, whether it's just a pointless CGI slugfest of a fight between Darth Maul and
everyone,
or.
But then like you just mentioned the prequels, but even then. Like, as a kid, I really enjoyed them.
Well, yeah, because we're that generation when the prequels was our thing. It was our original trilogy. It came out when we were young.
Yeah.
I think I was...
Oh, gotta be what?
I was 3 when... Was it 1999 was Phantom Menace?
Gotta be about 99, 98, something like that. I was about 2 or 3 when Phantom Menace came out. I don't remember watching that one.
I was fairly certain. I don't know if I saw that one at cinema. I remember seeing Attack of the Clones at cinema with my dad because my dad is probably one of the biggest Star Wars fans I know, and possibly in my family. I think my uncle takes him very close and beats him out. Not physically, like he doesn't like beat the crap. I don't know. Maybe he physically does. Who knows? Maybe, yeah. Well, because I know that he had a wall mounted. You know them. The really expensive, you know, like you had the crappy like plastic lights. You know, the really expensive like proper glass thing.
Oh yeah,
had one of them like mounted on like the nicest display that you were never allowed to touch.
Also, yes, Phantom Menace is 99. Just looked.
Oh, cool.
So I was 2.
Hooray!
I was 2 when Phantom Menace came out.
3. I definitely saw Attack of the Clones with my dad, and I think I must have seen Revenge of the Sith.
Which one's the Obi-Wan? Hello there. The fight with Grievous.
That's Revenge of the Sith, isn't it?
Yeah.
When he jumps down, it's like, hello, General Kenobi.
Because, like, the thing is,
that wasn't really Grievous. That was just an old man in distress, really.
That is actually one of my first filming experiences. I remember, and I think
you were there. You were Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I was Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi at the age of
2, 3, 4, whatever. But like. That's
2, 3, 4.
Like that's the thing.
234.
Like you
just in your infancy as a immortal being.
But you look back on the like the prequel films now, and you think, oh my god, what an utter pile of shit. But like
the dialogue was bad.
Oh, the dialogue was terrible. Everything about those films was terrible. But at the time, they were very enjoyable for what they were.
No.
And yeah, you got episodes 4, 5, and 6, obviously, which are really, really good films. On the whole,
I think Empire definitely is the best one. I do have a soft spot for Return of the Jedi because it gets so much hate for the Ewoks. The only thing that I hate really about the original ones is the fact that there is like not the original releases. Like we've come to a point where we know the updated effects editions as the normal ones, because I haven't probably seen, I don't know about you, but like the original versions of those 3 movies since probably I was about 7 when my dad had the VHSs.
Yeah, like I can't even say I remember that. Before that, I think I've only ever seen them really with the updated visuals, which a lot of people call them obviously a lot worse. But to me, that is what they are.
I think some of them are good.
Yeah, some of them are alright. But
some of them are just stupid.
But like
putting Hayden Christensen in space. I get that once you've seen the prequels.
Yeah.
So then you can be, because otherwise you just got kids going, who's that random old guy? But then it's obviously making it relatable. But then why wouldn't you have both of them meant to be Jedis in their prime? So you obviously you can't cut out Alec Guinness, but that would make more sense if you had Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen as the ghosts.
Yeah.
But then you obviously can't do that because Guinness is a ghost for most of the trilogy.
Yeah.
Look,
I am
your father. Oh, they'll strike the Downers become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
But the thing is, they're not the best films in the world. That's the point of it, and the fans.
Horrible. It's taken us this long just to talk about the fans.
Yeah, the fans, they look at the films and they hold them almost to an incredibly high standard. They hold 4, 5, and 6 to this almost godly film standard, and when you look at them, they're not. And I mean, it's almost kind of a bit like Marvel films in a way now as well. But that's for a different time.
Yeah.
But it's this standard that's almost it's the best thing in the world, and anything that goes different from the formula, it's not worth even being a thing, and it's a pile of shit, and it doesn't deserve to be to exist.
The main thing that caused all that was everyone hating Last Jedi, because it is a very divided film.
Yeah, because
people either love it or hate it.
And the reason that I feel The Last Jedi ended up being just a little bit different is because when The Force Awakens comes out, everybody was like, oh my god, new Star Wars film, blah blah blah.
First time in however long, everyone's excited.
Yeah, there was a lot of hype around it, and then it came out. I personally really like The Force Awakens. I like it more than A New Hope. And
I like Force Awakens, but probably on par because they are literally the same film.
They are the same film, but it's just sort of being updated, and I think almost like the prequels in a way, they're sort of the trilogies are almost for different generations.
Yeah. And whilst giving a nod to what's come before, especially in Force Awakens, for the older fans.
It's there oi oi, this is what we did for you.
Oi
oi oi, this is what we did for you, and then
it's actually BB-8's darling.
But then it's almost alright, but we're gonna introduce it to a new set of fans. Or who we hope to be a new set of fans. And then all the older people, I'm going to call them older because it generally is.
It's around our generation, really.
Yeah.
It's from anywhere from...
What, mid-20s upwards?
I think, from late teens up to...
40s?
Up to
30s, up
40s.
to the 40s.
We're not putting an age... If you are older or younger than that and you hate The Last Jedi, we're sorry. But...
I mean, we're generally generalizing.
We're generally not sorry about you being maybe if any of you have been arseholes to people, because that's not gone.
I mean, we are just almost stereotyping.
But I think it's because they've spent so long saying what they've probably imagined their perfect sequel trilogy of everything that's happening and that they want to happen, and especially with. I get it because to a point where all the stuff with Snoke and that and Rey's parents is sort of this is going to be really important later, but then I sort of like how Last Jedi was no, you don't have to be special or have the surname Skywalker to be in this trilogy. It is literally just
it can be anyone. And especially in this current time. I'm gonna go a little bit political here. But obviously in the society that we are in now, it's more centered around individualism, being an individual, and that being this individual, being your own person, is really regarded. It's really well respected, and that's what a lot of people aspire to be, opposed to what came before it, and it was you either were special or you were just sort of part of this cog in a machine in a way.
Yeah.
And I think that's what The Last Jedi sort of does. It's almost well, you don't have to be special. You you are you.
Are you?
You are you, and you are special the way you are.
My life was just no. You got enjoy yourself. Just don't hurt
Stop
yourself.
it with the Tommy Wiseau.
Can't help it. He's like an alter ego.
He is.
It's like Jack Hyde. Not Jack Hyde. That's a character from something.
That is a character from something.
I meant Jekyll and Hyde.
There you go.
I just made up a new name.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
But like, and then it's just almost sort of like the Star Wars fans. They wanted something different after seeing The Force Awakens. So well, Disney gave them something different. And then they were like, oh, well, this is straying too away from what we know. We don't like it. And ended up, just giving The Last Jedi such shit reviews that were unwarranted, in my opinion.
Trying to get it struck from canon. And then the remake that's still trying to gain. Have you seen the poster for that?
Yeah.
That is just ridiculous.
It's just utterly stupid.
Why has Luke Skywalker got a 10-pack when he's in his mid-60s?
Even older than that.
Probably older than that.
And that's like a thing that loads of people were complaining about in The Last Jedi as well. It's like almost like, oh, well, Luke Skywalker never gave up before, blah, blah, blah. Why did he decide to give up now? But you've also got to think.
He's been through some stuff.
He's been through a lot, and he's supposed to be about 60, 70 in the film as well, isn't he?
And he's like, I think it's like, because he's suffered with the whole Jedi Temple thing and like trying to retrain, and then the whole thing with Kylo going a bit wrong and feeling like a failure. He's obviously going to be depressed and sort of like he would naturally not be. It's not like Rey's going to come along handing the lightsaber. He's going to go, oh goody, let's get back into this, shall we?
Yeah, it's gonna take him time, and I think that arc worked well from him, and like I can see why people didn't like it.
It is a bit of a knee jerk in relation to Force Awakens, but I think you can't keep doing the same story with the same family, doing the same stuff over and over again. If you're going to survive, you've got to be different. Yeah.
You got to make changes. And then, like, bringing it way back around to the Solo film. Yeah, alright, you got the Solo, the Star Wars, the separate, what are they, Star Wars story films? Yeah. Like, you got to look at Solo and Rogue One. Everybody seems to really like Rogue One, and that's actually one that I personally didn't like.
I liked it. I just thought
it's like
I thought the Solo was just more fun and just better because it's obviously like a war film, but I feel like you saw more of the Star Wars universe in Solo.
Yeah, like Rogue One. Yeah, all right. It was a war film and it was good. It was definitely good for what it was trying to achieve. But for me personally, I didn't really think the characters were all that good in Rogue One. It didn't really make me care. It didn't make me invested into them.
I think that's the problem you have when you know that all these characters are going to be dead by the end of the film, and you only have a certain amount of time to build character for each of them.
Where Solo, it was a bit more enjoyable. The acting I thought was all round better. Shout out to Donald Glover.
Oh, Donald Glover is 100% like one of my favourite parts of that film. Like just the way he is so overzealously camp with that.
He is fantastic, and now I love Emilia Clarke, and I was gonna go into the film regardless and say she was the best person in that film, and now Donald Glover was 100% a standout in that film. He was fantastic. I just
love how the fact that he's just so like he's not just doing a Billy D. Williams impression. He's just being.
He brought everything to life.
Because a certain amount of playing a younger character by a different actor is you have to sort of be like them to a point, but you have to see that growth, and I think you see that with Han. You see that with I love. It also gives like having what's the name of that robot the robot that he then plugs into the Falcon.
Can't remember the name.
Like L3 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
but like. His charisma on screen was
and then having
just
her,
fantastic.
And having like the fact that he plugs her, that's why he finds the ship so valuable and why he's desperate to get it back because you see, like when the Empire, like back in the originals, were always like so desperate to get the Falcon and not destroy it. Because it has the best navigation system in the galaxy.
And now you know why.
Yeah, and it's good. I sort of like how he plays it. He's almost like he's confident, but he's also. I think he's quite scared and wary of Han, and knows that they're not friends. They're almost like equals. They're almost like I think they grow to be friends over the original. But with this, there is a lot of hostility, especially the end when he's got that ridiculous Hawaiian shirt on, and then
he ends up getting
shit
the
like
shit
that. He
back.
threatens to get Chewie to rip his arms off.
Yeah.
It's just the way they play off each other is just so nice.
Yeah, their charisma together. Their charisma together on screen was fantastic, and I mean, I'm still gonna mention Emilia Clarke because
I think she was good, but I feel like they're setting her up for sequels. I feel like you didn't get enough of where the character went. You just sort of go, you don't know what's happened to me. You don't know what's happened. To me.
And then I mean, you kind of saw it towards the end, obviously, with the for those of you who don't know,
spoiler.
I mean, I think we've already sort of spoiled it with it, little bits of it anyway.
By saying that Han Solo's in the Han Solo movie.
Yeah.
God, Jesus Christ.
But for those of you who don't know, coming towards the end,
very surprise cameo.
There was a very surprise cameo of Darth Maul appearing.
So he was the one.
And I think...
Did you like that cameo?
I did. I didn't think it was out of place. I thought it was a good little cameo.
I feel like it is a lot of sequel bait though. If they did the Obi-Wan movie, and then he was sort of he was in it at the beginning. Obviously, try not to ruin the whole Rebels the way that ended, because that's meant to be canon. I'd see how that would play more into a sequel.
Yeah, and
I feel like for one movie it's a bit of a waste. It's just well, why is Darth Maul just sitting there igniting his lightsaber on a hologram?
But I think it was set up to be a sequel, and I think Emilia Clarke's character obviously was more sequel bait than anything, but she was still really good in the film. She
did the best with what she had. She didn't really have a lot to do. She was damsel in distress.
Yeah, and then a bit more not a damsel in distress in a way.
I don't know. She didn't really do anything.
Towards the end, she sort of wasn't.
Well, just when she kills whatever Paul Bettany's character was.
Yeah,
that's about it. That's probably the only thing she did.
But
most of the time, was just sitting around talking.
Again, it's sort of there wasn't really much she could have done. It was more about
her.
Yeah, but then it was more about Han, Lando,
Han,
Chewie, and stuff like that. Fantastic, and the thing is now there is a case where I think Solo was a lot more enjoyable than Rogue One. Rogue One worked very well for what it was. I personally didn't like it because you knew the characters were gonna die. You knew it was kind of irrelevant. You didn't really care for the characters.
So you didn't really get attached because you're like, well,
in it where
end of the film they're all gonna be dead.
Where this one you sort of were like, oh, it's a bit more backstory, a bit more enjoyable, and you sort of knew where these characters are gonna be heading as well. And I think that made it a lot more enjoyable to me. It made me more invested.
I think the only thing that really annoyed me about Solo was the fact that a lot of it felt like just ticking off the checklist. Yeah, it was like the Kessel Run, getting the Falcon,
meeting
the dice. The dice was so important.
Dice, yeah.
I just found it funny how that Han Solo actually spoke Wookiee, but has never spoken it in the tree. Obviously, he understands it, and Chewie understands him. It's just strange that he's then just as he's being drowned and having his head caved in mud, that he decides to let out a bit of the old Wookiee speak.
Nah, but then
that makes sense. That's the only way you'd sort of get Chewie to trust you.
Yeah, and I think that was really nice. But then there is a case that, going off Emilia Clarke's character and Darth Maul's cameo, there's a lot of sequel baiting in it, and obviously now because of the Star Wars fans holding these films to such a high degree, that it's almost like we might not actually see that now, because what have they done? They've cancelled all the Star Wars.
They've postponed everything
or postponed them
till further notice. So, which is a shame, because then we won't get the Obi-Wan movie anytime soon, which is the one
everybody wants.
It's almost like, well, you spoiled it, so now you don't get you throw your toys at the pram, so now you don't get what you wanted.
Yeah,
which is fair enough, because
at
the end of the day, you can't keep making films with people if they're going to either boycott it or slag you off, or say that Kathleen Kennedy doesn't know what she's doing when she clearly does.
And it's just a case of it's the fans. If we don't get to see that bait, and we don't get to see that where it goes, the fans have ruined it. Because all right, yeah, if you don't like the film, it's perfectly your own opinion.
Yeah, everyone's allowed to have an opinion.
You're obviously entitled to say that you don't like the film, but don't just hate a film without giving it any chance just because it's not your perfect picture of a film.
Yeah.
Like, if it's still a good film, you still got to admit that it's still a good film, regardless of whether you like it or not. And, alright, yeah, if you don't like it...
You don't like it at the end of the day. You don't need to bully people off social media. You don't need to sort of go around making petitions to try and, like, put everyone... You don't need to put everyone down for something that a lot of people have clearly worked hard on, not just the actors, but everyone behind the scenes.
No, and...
Put a lot of money and a lot of effort into it. You don't need to try and ruin people's lives just for the sake of it.
Yeah, it's almost a case of, well, we didn't like it, alright, so you guys don't deserve to almost have a job anymore.
Yeah.
And that's what it kind of seems like, and that's just the problem with fandoms as a whole. Like, obviously, I mentioned Marvel, but we'll save that for
we're obviously going to, at some point, talk about Marvel extensively, especially with Ant-Man coming out soon.
I mean, we'll probably have a whole Marvel podcast.
Yeah.
Because...
Marvel pod!
All I'm going to say is I like Marvel films, but I don't like their fans sometimes.
I think that's a lot with all fans, though. You've got certain things, even stuff like Doctor Who, you have, obviously, like, she's a woman now, and everyone's just sort of like, this could never happen, even though he travels through time and space. Why is it so hard to believe that this multi-faced alien could be a woman? I mean, at the end of the day, it's just some people that are just so bitter and want everything their own way, but stuff has to change. Stuff has to be different. You know, you don't know unless you see it.
Exactly.
If you see it and you don't like it, fair enough. But don't
just hate it.
Don't be a dickhead about it.
Don't like boycott a film just because you didn't like the one previously.
If you don't like it, then if you don't want to go see the next one, then don't see it. But don't start thinking like, no one must see this. We'll show them, because they'll just either take away stuff that you did want, or just carry on as normal. Because you're not really going to affect a multi-billion-dollar company like Disney. You can't stop them. They're taking over the world.
Disney hold a monopoly on near enough every single thing they possibly can hold on. That's gonna.
What do you reckon?
The whole
them buying out parts of Fox.
X-Men and the MCU. That's what I think.
Yeah. I want that. I want that, and I want a good Fantastic Four movie from people that know what they're doing and actually care. Yeah. But at the same time, I hate monopolies. So.
I think monopolies are one of the worst things that can actually ever happen. And as much as I hate it, Disney at least are doing good with it in a way.
Yeah, they haven't used their power for evil yet. Touch wood. Not Torchwood. That was cancelled.
Not Torchwood. Right.
Have you seen Torchwood?
I've seen parts of it.
That's so good. They're streaming that on Twitch from the 15th of July. I might
catch that then.
I might, because it just saves me buying the Blu-ray box set. Yeah. So I'm just rewatching this. That was a good show. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about loads. We get to talk about loads of crap.
Should we talk about the movie that you wanted to bring up now? Now that we've ranted on about Star Wars for too long.
We always knew that we were going to have a Star Wars rant episode 1. Did you see the whole thing with the Joker movie that's going ahead with Joaquin Phoenix?
I did not, so please describe it to me.
I will describe an ad-lib as I Google. So basically, DC are doing a solo Joker film, gangster movie thing, but not with Jared Leto as the Joker.
Thank
with
God.
Joaquin Phoenix. But then I don't think it's part of the whole DCEU, which then begs the question: why are you wasting our time and bringing out so many different versions of this character?
Because I feel like they know that the DCEU is going to fail.
I feel like it's failed, but they're just going to course correct and still make some money. I mean, that proved it with Justice League, even though I gave up.
I didn't.
I gave up after Batman v Superman. You gave up. When did you give up?
I technically gave up after Batman vs Superman, but I did chime in to watch Wonder Woman as well.
I did start to watch Wonder Woman because I thought, well, everyone said good things. What I saw I enjoyed, but I didn't think, yep, I'm going to give this another chance, because Suicide Squad, everything I saw and heard was just absolute garbage.
I mean, the only reason I kind of really watched that is because I really love Margot Robbie. And also Will Smith. Will Smith, if you're out there.
Did you watch all of all of Suicide Squad, or did you?
I did watch it. I watched.
So then you didn't give up, did you?
No.
Did you go to the cinema, or did you just watch it at home?
My brother brought me the extended version on Blu-ray.
Bastard.
I actually have it sitting on my shelf behind me. It's behind me on my shelf up there.
But then you do also own various things, so
I own anything I can sort of get my hands on. Whether it's bad or good,
or anything that you buy off me that I rebuy.
Anything that's bad or good, I will own it and I will give it a watch.
It's good to own bad stuff because sometimes you need a bit of a laugh.
Yeah, I'll give it a watch, you know.
But I haven't got any of the DC films apart from the Nolan Batmans on Blu-ray. I don't have any. Like, I don't have I've never owned Man of Steel. Obviously not Batman v Superman because why would I? Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, never gonna touch Justice League in my life.
No, I literally.
I might watch it if it comes on like Sky Movies or something. I might give it a watch, but apart from that, I don't really care enough.
I walked in on my brother watching Justice League. I watched it.
Did you turn the telly off in shame? It's like, what are you doing? No.
I watched it for about 2 seconds with him.
What happened?
What happened? I think it was a scene with the Flash, and I just thought this looks.
It's a shame because Ezra Miller seems like he's going to be. Seems like a good Flash.
Yeah.
From the JPEG clip that I saw in Batman v Superman.
But I just thought, it just looks so visually disgusting that I had to just walk away. And I don't really say that.
What was in the trailer? Well, there was 2 different trailers because obviously.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder.
But I mean, like, I feel.
Gritty and then Joss Whedon. Let's make everyone look like they're happy.
Yeah, and I feel like just that odd mix just made the film possibly even worse than what it was intended to do. And I sort of walked in, I looked at it, and I just went, this looks disgusting. I just don't want everyone to watch it.
It's a no from me.
It was a no from me. Whereas like Wonder Woman, all right, yeah, good film.
Wonder Woman.
It wasn't a bad film. It was all right.
Yeah, it's good. What I saw, I think I saw up to.
But I
saw up to when. Is it Steve? It's Chris Pine's character. Steve
Rogers.
No, sounds like it's like Steve Trevor or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Then they go back when he takes Diana back to the real world with him. I saw like the beginning of that like, up to that point, and it was good. It was there's nothing amazing. It's no Captain America Winter Soldier, but it was good. It wasn't bad.
I definitely say Wonder Woman, the film gets better after that. Once they go back and once they hit the wartime, it definitely gets better than that.
Maybe one day we'll have to watch that.
The last act, I thouot was a major letdown for the film.
Was it?
Yeah, the last act was terrible.
CGI slugfest, was it?
Not even a big CGI slugfest, just a terrible CGI.
A small CGI romp.
No, it was just terrible. But like, the film with Wonder Woman, I think the film was far more political than it was.
Plus, it was
the film itself.
Superhero movie.
Yeah, like, I'm not trying to slate it or anything. It was good for what it was. It was definitely a good film for what it was, but it was not enough to redeem the DCEU, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, speaking of female superhero, the
Captain Marvel, isn't it?
Yeah, Captain Marvel wrapped. And Wonder Woman, the Black Widow movie. That's what I'm trying to think about. Finally has a director.
Oh, who's directing that?
Let's have a look on the old Google. Other things are available. Kate Shortland. That's what it says.
Any idea of what she's directed?
Law Berlin Syndrome. Obviously, they're 2 different things.
Yeah, I've watched Berlin Syndrome.
Is it any good?
Yeah, I liked it.
Did it look nice?
It did look appealing.
There we go then.
And I mean,
that's a thing.
Scarlett Johansson, I imagine, definitely going to be in it.
So, we know like 2 films in Phase 4 then. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which James Gunn put a picture on Twitter of not that long ago of the script.
Wouldn't also the new Spider-Man film be part of that?
Home, yeah.
Far From. We know 3.
Well, we know 2 that are definitely in.
Isn't a Black Panther 2 coming out?
There's a Black Panther sequel and a Doctor Strange that are in there somewhere, but because they've got so many things on the slate that they haven't released, that I think they're waiting until Avengers 4 is either like on its way or is in the cinema.
Yeah.
Because like Kevin Feige said, like he's not gonna do. I think he said he's not gonna do the title of Avengers 4 until the end of the year, until roughly when you're getting like your Captain Marvel gear up, like when they're all on the full political wagon for that. Right. Political, promotional, not political. Yeah, it's just Brie Larson just talking about how much politics is shit.
Because it is. Yeah. And this is coming from a guy who also studied it as part of my uni course.
Politics. He's an educated one.
No, I'm not. I'm just a guy who just kind of turned up to our lectures and wrote some shit.
Like how we said we weren't going to talk about Marvel and then just ended up talking about Marvel.
Because Marvel
knows what they're doing.
Marvel's such a culturally significant thing now in media.
It's just the juggernaut. I'm the juggernaut,
bitch.
I'm so gutted
speaking of which, Deadpool 2.
That was that was
amazing.
Years ago in relation to podcast time, but my god, that was fun.
Deadpool 2, so good. Enjoyable. Very, very enjoyable.
I think the first one was still better though.
No, I think because Deadpool 2 was...
Because you didn't expect, like, it come at you with everything, and like, you didn't expect it, but then it sort of did a lot of...
I think
a lot of things that Deadpool 1 did, but not as good. But then there was some great jokes in there.
I think
that whole baby legs thing.
The only reason I would say Deadpool 2 was better to me because I feel like I'm getting worn out on almost origin stories now. So like Deadpool obviously had to tell the origin story. It had
they did it in a very meta way though.
Yeah, they did it in a way that was far more enjoyable to watch than the majority of them now. But as for a sequel, I think it did everything right.
Yeah, it made the stakes higher, sort of. Cable, I think Josh Brolin was good as Cable.
Definitely good as Cable.
A lot of fun. There are some great lines in that.
Terry Crews, for all the 2 seconds he was on screen.
I love the fact they built up the X-Force as like...
Brad Pitt.
Making the X-Force movie. Like, this is almost going to be like the lead into it, and then they all just die horrible. Apart from Peter, because he saves Peter, doesn't he?
Yes.
Peter saves
and Domino.
Well, Domino survived because she was lucky. That's how she landed.
Yeah. And then you had Brad Pitt just...
the Invisible Man.
Appearing for all 2 seconds.
But then you can do that because, like, with a 2-second cameo like that, you can just do that sort of thing, can't you?
Yeah, and I think that was really cool. But right, so should we talk about Pixar now, though?
Okay, well, can we just finish with the whole DC thing of like, I don't think I'll see this joke. I don't think I'll see many DC films at the cinema if they're on TV, or I end up buying them on Blu-ray, just being curious when they're cheap.
I think I'll go see them if there's nothing else at all on.
I think Justice League must have suffered from, because it was originally a 2-part, wasn't it? Like they scheduled that for like part 1 and 2 over 2 years.
Did they schedule it for 2 parts?
Yeah, it was meant to be like part 1 and 2 over like I think 2017, 2018, and then made it one film. So condensing it either into one film or just making the part 1 just as a whole round of it. I think something must have been lost there, because you can't tell all that story with all those characters that you don't know in one film.
I think the main reason of what got lost there was the fact that they tried to do an MCU, but the first Avengers came out how many years? 4 years?
4 years after Iron Man.
After Iron Man, 2012, wasn't it?
Yeah, those were the days.
And like it gave plenty of time for like the main characters to come out and then still tell an additional story when it came out. Yeah. Where Justice League, it was like, oh well, you sort of have Batman.
Yeah. Marvel are doing it. Let's throw all of these people.
You sort of have Man of Steel.
Even though he's not very like Superman.
We introduced.
He should be happy.
We introduced Wonder Woman.
Make Superman great again.
Alright, we're not gonna tell you how all of these people get together, but hey, look, here's Cyborg, here's Flash, here's Aquaman for a bit.
File on an email. Here's all these clips of them doing stuff.
And like
Cyborg's also there. He's a boring character.
Especially with Batman versus Superman, like that whole scene was just sort of hand-fisted to you to be like, go watch Justice League.
It's because I think they were just just trying to rush it. How hard can it be? Yeah, because obviously they're playing catch up from the start. But if they'd done it properly and done like, here's Superman, here's Batman, here's Wonder Woman, here's Aquaman, here's like the Flash, here's Cyborg, maybe here's Green Lantern, but not shit. And gradually break. Like, you have to build the universe. You can't just let exposition build your universe. You actually have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
You actually have to make like the characters around them believable, build the world up,
Yeah, and I feel like they were just like, oh crap, we need to play serious catch up. All
everyone
right,
loves Batman. Everyone loves Superman. Let's make them fight. That will sell loads of tickets, which it did, but no one liked the film.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I remember.
Did it come out the same year as Civil War?
Yes.
And Civil War was similar, but 10 times better. Yeah, 2016, wasn't it?
No, I was working at the cinema at the time. I don't think it came out at the exact same time. But I remember when I was working in the cinema at the time, like, we were actually told to promote Batman vs Superman as much as possible. Okay, well, I could be wrong then.
Come out 20. So that come out.
Well, yeah, that goes to show my point. We were told to promote that film, where Civil War we didn't have to. Yeah, 2016 as well.
Yeah, like a month's difference between the release dates. That's
like we were told to promote one, and not promote the other.
Well, because Marvel doesn't, because that's the thing. Like with Civil War, it's a similar film, but you get everyone's points of view. Like whether you're on Team Cap or Team Iron Man, you get both. Like you understand where they're coming from, because obviously Tony started as like a weapons dealer and feels guilt for all the decisions he's made, not just like in his own films, but in like Avengers creating Ultron, all that stuff. You see that he's sorry for himself, and he wants to sort of like make everything better. And how in Captain America he doesn't like answering to people anymore because of what happened with Shield, because it was all Hydra. So
yeah, and then
that's how you build a world. You make people care,
and not just go, oh, here's two really popular, like culturally significant characters. All right, let's just have them duke it out. That'll sell tickets, right? That's
and the bloody shooting of his parents again, and the whole Marvel thing. Oh god, it's a waste of Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
It's just so bad. They're gonna be playing catch up, but
why did you say that name?
Martha. All right, but Incredibles.
Should we call this character? Not this character. So we call the episode Martha.
Yeah, just call it Martha. Martha. But
yeah. So Incredibles is out. It's out right now.
It's out today. We're gonna go watch it
as soon as this finishes. So in about
half an hour.
About half hour, 45 minutes. I don't know if we carry on going that long.
Something like that. But what are your expectations for it?
I obviously love The Incredibles when I first saw it. It's been so long. It's probably not my favourite Pixar film, which we'll probably go into depth either right now or at a later time. But it's just so much fun. It's the best Fantastic Four movie ever made.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
It's so much fun. There's surprisingly dark elements in it.
Yeah.
It is. It's just like, it's a great film, and it's very sort of retro. It's very sort of like 60s comic style of like the images and that in it. It's fantastic. I love it.
The thing is with Pixar, like their animation and their actual storytelling have always been like top notch.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, yeah, Cars. All right, that was kind of.
I like Cars, but I don't love it. Like it's not as bad as people say.
I did not go to watch Cars 3. I will admit on that one.
But
I kind of just sort of missed that one.
Cars 2 as well was a bit sort of naff because the whole secret agent thing. It wasn't really a Cars movie. It was just sort of like.
I mean, but obviously, like.
I think the originals are normally better than the sequels in general. Anyway, there's not a lot of sequels that are better than the original, and that's just in all films. But because Toy Story, I think, is the best Toy Story movie. I don't think Toy Story 4 is going to be anywhere near that good. I like Toy Story 3, but not as good as the first one.
I think I really enjoyed Toy Story 2.
I did, but it sort of. It didn't really add anything. It was that.
I don't think it added anything, but I think it did the story a bit more better. Like
like it's a road. Like they are almost always the same sort of story, like getting lost, making their way home, and that.
Andy.
Toy Story 3 is emotional, especially because I sort of grew up with that.
Like I am not afraid to admit that I did cry while watching Toy Story 3 in the cinema.
Do.
I did.
Like, even like not watching the whole film, but you just know the end bit from when
they're in that little fire pit. Yeah, that made me cry.
That's like because
that was sad.
It's I think so ingrained in my childhood because I used to have the VHS and watch that all the time when I was little.
I remember you used to have all that Toy Story merchandise, like
Do you still have any of that?
I'm not sure if I definitely have a Woody toy.
I have a Woody toy that was my cousin's that is now mine.
I definitely have a Woody toy.
I love that. I have a Buzz Lightyear that I got in the. You know when the it's quite sad. But when the third one came out, they did like the whole original boxes of all the toys in.
Yeah.
So like the ones in the film, like so I had Buzz with the actual rocket box.
Oh, that's naughty.
And then like kept the box, and I don't know where that is. So like put it back in like as like for a display thing, and like I have that somewhere.
In case you didn't think we were actually nerdy enough, there you go.
Yeah. I think I still have an original-ish Slinky. I have a Mr. Potato Head.
Definitely have a Mr. Potato. I think everybody had a Mr. Potato Head.
I think there's a Bullseye as well. I know my sister has Jessie.
I believe I still have the little RC car somewhere.
I have a little funny thing about the whole RC car thing. I remember when that came out. They had it in rest in peace, Toys R Us, and I went there, got it, got home, started trying to use it in the garden, and then it kept dying. So said that like my dad tried to fix it. Went back to Toys R Us. They're like, I changed it, got a different one, took that home, same problem. Literally went through about 4 RC cars before it must have been a fault with them or something, and then like later down the line I did get like one that actually works. But that was I just remember like just driving back and forth to Toys R Us for like a day and a half.
But like the thing is,
can't do that now.
Toys R Us is just like Toys R Us and Toy Story, even take them both. That's like
a Toys R Us story.
A Toys R Us story. That is our childhood, isn't it?
It's gone. It's like Blockbuster.
And like the thing is, I think a lot of Pixar movies,
just like the ice caps.
I think Pixar movies as a whole, just like I just heard what you said. But like,
global warming is real.
Global warming
is
not real.
It's a myth. It's cold outside. There is no way global warming is a thing. Okay. I'm not gonna sign the treaty. I'm not gonna sign it. I don't believe that global warming it's a conspiracy, and it's just made up by the people that are trying to take me out of power. They're trying to make me look like a fool. Wait a bit like a gay Mr. T then, that did.
Yeah, they did. But like,
I pity the fool.
But like the Pixar films, I think, are always really, really good in quality.
Oh yeah, they've always got. I feel like every time they sort of had one that's not either like average, there's not a horribly bad one. I mean, all of them are good watchable films for kids, and mostly adults for the majority of them.
Yeah.
But I think they get better at perfecting it, especially over recent years.
I mean, like, Cars is my least enjoyable Pixar film. I think...
It doesn't make it a bad movie.
It doesn't make it a bad movie by any standards. It's still a good film.
Shit,
oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's like that. It's just boring. It's just, like, long.
Hi, I'm Mailer. I am a secret agent.
Mailer.
But, like... Yeah.
They wasted Michael Caine in that film. He must have got paid so much.
Like Patrick Stewart in the Emoji Movie.
Oh, let's not talk about the Emoji. We're never talk about the Emoji Movie ever in our lives.
Let's talk about it.
I'm not doing. No, we're going to carry on with Pixar.
I have not seen it actually, so
and I'm never. Gonna...
I refuse to. But like the thing is,
I refuse to watch it until the day I die.
But like the thing is, my favorite Pixar film is a mix of. I can't actually say. I want to say it's a mix of 4.
Go on, give me a 4. Give me a top 4.
Top
Pixar.
Can I give top 5? Because
right,
I just
top
make.
5. You're the one that said 4. Right, give me 5 if you want.
My top 5 Pixar films in no particular order because I actually can't rank them. Toy Story 1 and 2. WALL-E.
Yes, love WALL-E.
Ratatouille.
Yeah, that's underappreciated, and you wonder why.
I love Ratatouille. I think Ratatouille is such a fantastic
film.
Fun.
Like, it's such a funny film, and it's so nice and it's so sweet.
And the ending. I think the ending to Ratatouille is
because
phenomenal.
Like, it's not really a happy ending because you'd think like spoiler alert that they're gonna pass the crypt, but then obviously because having a rat in the kitchen, you'd get closed down. But then they sort of have a happy ending because then they run their own business.
Yeah, it's a mix of a happy ending and not a happy ending.
Melancholy ending.
Yeah, a melancholy ending, and and obviously
smoking an invisible pipe.
And obviously the first Incredibles.
He's also started bollock naked.
Always, but like, But like the first Incredibles, like I can't say I rank any of those above any of the others.
What was your? Oh yeah, you said 5. I was trying to. You said Toy Story 1 and 2. That's the thing, yeah.
Toy Story 1 and 2. I mean,
what do you think of Brave?
Good film. I like it.
It's a bit boring.
A bit boring. Yeah, a bit boring.
It just sort of doesn't. It's almost too Disney to be a Pixar movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's more of a like Disney princess movie than a Pixar. That's how it feels.
Because I feel like Pixar, they have that thing for adults as well, as much as they could kids films.
Yeah.
Like they have those themes, they have those tones that make adults sort of enjoy watching them as well. Because like, I mean, WALL-E, you've obviously got. I mean, the whole premise of that.
Oh, that is such a cute film, man.
It's such a cutesy little kids film, but the whole
emotional as well.
Yeah, I know, and the whole premise of that film is very mature as well.
Yeah, like
global warming, the rubbish,
commercialism,
consumerism, and it's just like the
fat bastards,
the fat bastards, and it's just
very sort of meta.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, like we mentioned Ratatouille. Like the whole thing of that, it's
very simple film.
Very simple film, but it does everything right.
Yeah.
And like obviously the whole it's rats in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And obviously they carry famine and everything. It's got that melancholy ending.
Yeah.
And
smoke that invisible pipe again, Matt. Go on. Ooh, sophistication.
But like the thing is, with it's just such like. Ratatouille, I think, such a fantastic film that will always hold a little place in my heart. Like obviously people say Toy Story, obviously way more significant, and like I can understand that. I get that part as well.
Toy Story mainly because it's a personal thing, sort of for me.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people our age, it would be more of a personal thing. But I mean, you had Ratatouille, you had WALL-E, and you had The Incredibles as well, which I think were also just like such fantastic films. And like, even when looking at Incredibles, like it is alright. Yeah, it's a really happy, good, like wholesome superhero film.
Yeah,
but it handles a lot of dark themes in there as well.
Yeah,
and I think that's something that Pixar have always done well.
Because there's a lot of that. It's almost like the marriage is breaking down with the parents. There's like she thinks he's cheating on her. There's a lot of the old high school drama with boys and wanting to compete and stuff and be yourself.
What it's like being stuck in a dead end job that you hate.
What is love? That is my favourite scene in Black Panther, just to throw that in.
Me.
Andy Serkis singing that in Black Panther is probably one of my favourite things I've seen.
Yeah, that was very good. But like, I don't know. I'm looking forward to Incredibles 2 because
should be fun.
It will be fine at the end of the day.
The anticipation is normally what kills it. Like, I just feel like it's got to be good. Surely. I mean, you'll find out next week if we're still here.
But like, even if it's not fantastic,
then we'll just go and see Tag.
And then we'll just go see Tag. But like, even if it's not fantastic, I still expect it to be a good film.
Yeah. That
may not be the best, but it'll be a good film.
You're going to Pixar now, and if it's not amazing, you know it's still going to be watchable and enjoyable.
Yeah.
You're not going to come out going, "What the fuck did I just pay to see?" You're going,
"Oh, it's going to be a good film."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all the shit, really, isn't it? We got anything else? Anything else you want to talk about?
That email.
You want to go on to the so we do have obviously social media with it, which will be on the screen hopefully, and we're going to plug it in because you can send us emails, anything you've seen or anything you want to be talked about, you can let us know.
I mean, I got to bring it up.
I'd literally just have to waffle now while Matt logs into the email account, which if we were professional, we probably would have done
beforehand.
But
but
we're not.
I completely
this is the first time.
Forgot about it. Okay, I forgot.
No, that's fine. I'll forgive you this time.
You'll forgive me this time. Oh, new camp's out. Sorry, that's completely irrelevant. That's a Rooster Teeth show.
Plug. They want to sponsor this show. Not sponsored by Rooster Teeth, but big fans of that. Big fans of Big Damn Cast as well, which is the main reason, because watching that really made us want to do this.
Yeah.
We just like talking about crap.
And we're very good at just talking about crap.
Yeah, well, because we have these conversations normally like every day.
Like,
so
we really do. And give me the password. Oh yeah, that was it, wasn't it?
Yeah, don't shout out the password for the email.
Nope.
Yeah, because we literally have these conversations every day. And thought, why not get other people to? Okay, so we have our email. Matt, read it. Our one and only email that we got this week, even though we did push it both at work and on social media. We got one. So if we get two next week, we'll consider that good.
Alright, so this is from...
Don't read out the whole name.
Oh, can I please read his name?
You can read his first name.
This is from Daniel, or Dave, you dick. Love your email, by the way. It's so cute.
What's the subject?
I'm not reading the subject. He knows what it is.
It's a very rude word at the end of Matthew is a.
Regards, Dave.
No, read that bit. Read out the whole thing.
No, because
I think the name is the best bit at the end.
All right, so
basically, it says Matthew is a C word, which we're not going to say. That's bad.
I mean, that just brings up
in case there's young people watching. You never know.
Cunts.
Probably read the email.
All right, what is it? So this is from Dave, and it says, "Hello, my question is, what's your title predictions and relegation predictions for next season?"
God damn it, Dave! We don't want to talk about football.
Regards, Dave. I can't even pronounce that.
I'm not Greek enough for this. Dave Papadopoulos.
Yeah, Papadopoulos.
Is that how you spell Papadopoulos? Because there's a
that is not.
There's a TATH in there. That
if he's spelling Papadopoulos, he's added too much to that word.
Papastopoulos.
I don't know,
Yeah,
but
well,
Dave,
if you're Greek, we'll write this word down. If you can say it for us,
I'll flash it up on screen.
Flash it now.
Okay, but like, if we are saying it wrong, we are so sorry. But Dave, in regards to your question, because this is sports, so everybody can basically turn off now. Like, let's be real. But for those of you who are interested, I think my title predictions are going to be Wolves. I think Wolves are gonna win, and I reckon
Wolves are gonna win.
I reckon Wolves are gonna win.
How much crack have you been smoking today?
A lot. And I reckon Arsenal, Man City, and Leicester are going to be relegated.
No, let's be sensible. I reckon, not just being biased, because this is why I hate talking about football. Yeah, it's just going to start so much shit.
So basically, if anybody wants to turn off, because
turn off now. Yeah, so goodbye.
Bye.
Anyway, we'll see you next week, hopefully. But
same time.
This is not just because I'm biased, but I feel like all the changes happening at Arsenal can only be positive, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was a top 3 finish for us.
Yeah, I can see you in a top 3 finish. I generally
there is a possibility of winning it, which I believe every year, and I'm always disappointed. But I honestly think good things have happened both behind the scenes and with the players, and we've got 5 signings done, and we're still like over 2 weeks away from the season.
Yeah, Spurs, if you want to make a signing at any point soon.
It's not 2 weeks, it's like 4 weeks, isn't it? Yeah.
No,
Man City game's the 11th of August. I know, because I go on holiday. So
no. Tottenham, if you want to make a signing at any point soon, that would be great. We might actually be in a position. I reckon top 4, although I can't call it, are going to be Man City, Man United, Arsenal, Spurs.
Yeah, I can sort of see. I don't think Chelsea...
I don't reckon Chelsea will do it. No.
Just keep sacking managers, which they sacked Conte, what was it, yesterday?
Today, really. He said that he left yesterday, but it was a confirmed sacking today. And opposed to relegation, Leicester, the only one I can really see going down.
Leicester going down?
I can see Leicester going down.
They've lost a lot of attacking admirers.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's so hard to call. It is.
I can't say who's going down.
So open.
Yeah.
We don't have someone like a Stoke that we know are just going to play crap.
Or West Brom. They're gone as well. But, yeah, I can't actually call who's going to win. Possibly Man City again. Possibly. I don't
know. I don't think
I'm not
they realistically win it again.
I'm not gonna agree with you and say
they paid 60 million for Mahrez, who is nowhere near worth it.
And Mahrez is just gonna sit on the bench realistically, isn't he? You see him starting.
Who do you take out of that team for Mahrez?
No one. Like, do you see him realistically starting? Anyway, the sports talk's going on way too long. It is going on
way too long. But thank you, Dave Papadopoulos.
Twatface.
If that is indeed your real name.
Which we know it's not.
We know it's not, but you know. Yeah, so thanks for that. That was fun.
This has been
if anyone wants to send us any questions, anything you want to talk about, a film that you've seen or TV, any random pop culture bollocks, send your emails to nerdbiblecontact@gmail.com. That is right, isn't it?
Yes.
That is correct.
That is correct. And also, if you want to disagree with any of our opinions
if you think we're stupid,
please feel free to let George know.
Yeah, feel free to let both of us know. We'll do our best.
Just let George know.
Yeah.
That would be fine by me.
We appreciate anyone who wants to write anything or tweet us. What's the Twitter?
I do not know.
At NerdBiblePod, I think.
It'll be on screen.
We'll put it on screen. We'll learn how to do our own social media one day.
Yeah, one day we will. But this has been a nice little test, George.
Yeah.
And tune in next week.
So next week we'll talk about what we thought of Incredibles 2. If we see anything else,
probably Marvel.
Yeah. Any suggestions anyone has, throw it our way. We'll try and get it in there somewhere.
I mean, we could probably.
When does Ant-Man come out?
Don't know. Is it out?
It's not out.
I don't know.
It's surely not out.
Anyway,
we'll talk when that gets nearer. We'll try and make it as relevant to what's coming out.
Yeah, we'll try to make it more relevant, opposed to just talking about
absolute crap.
What we wanted to talk about. I think I spent about 10 minutes talking about milk. The last chunk of it was nerdy.
Yeah.
So
yeah, well, we are Nerd Bible Podcast. Thank you for listening. He's been Matt.
I've been Matt. He's been George.
I have been me. And thanks a lot. Hope you enjoy it.
And
hope to see you next week.
Bye.